I just recorded, no joke, a 45-minute rant on Ben Simmons. But I don't think that's constructive. I don't think that's constructive, and it would have taken forever to upload too. But I'm sure some of you would like to see that video, but I can't let it see the light of day because that's not constructive. Last night, we saw firsthand that Ben Simmons is incapable of scoring. Now, previously here on Nets Republic, hosted by Severed Bond, we were wondering, is he just lazy? Is he not trying? Oh, last night he was trying. That man was giving it all she's got. That man, Benjamin Button Simmons, had the most bagless, the stiffest, the most uncoordinated first quarter offensively I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not talking about he's got an unorthodox style. I'm not talking about man's just has a aesthetically unpleasing game like Jokic or something like that. No, I'm talking about it is painful to watch him attempt to score. You'll have times where there's no one in front of him and someone is starting to rotate over because they see his eyes are looking at the rim. He's telegraphing it a mile away. So someone's rotating in position just to stand in front of Buddy. They're not even contesting. They're just standing in front of Buddy. This man, Ben Simmons, on a left-handed floater, will trot forward, give you the stiffest hezzy you've ever seen in your life. It's almost a carry. This man goes, you got to make that sound effects when you do it because that's what it looks like. He begins a euro to his right with the ball in his left. He begins to euro to the right. But after one step after gathering the ball, he will hop. So instead of using your 2 steps to get leverage, he will take 1 step and then hop in the air. And in an upright position with the release looking like Cranky the Crane, he will release this weird TJ Warren push shot, but with the arc of a sky hook. An air ball. Bagless. This man is bagless. I don't think he can score. I don't think it's a situation of Mans is just out here being lazy and not attempting to score. I don't think he can. Last night's display of offensive atrocities was Ben Simmons trying to score. When you look back at the footage and think about that, have that type of framing with it, oh, it is sad. Y'all ever seen an old people fight? How they'd be like slapping each other in slow motion and then they'd be taking a break to get a couple breaths in on their walker. Then they go back to slapping. And I'm not saying that Severed Bond spends his time watching old people fights. But if it's on the timeline, I'm looking. And you're watching and it's just like, ugh. You ever seen Trae Young play defense? I mean, he's giving it all he's got, but they just cooking him down low, and you're just like, That's what it's like watching Ben Simmons try to score. It's pathetic. The man only took 10 shots. So I don't know if I can credit him for being more aggressive because he only tried 10 times, but sure, he tried. And if you're wondering, Sever, well, what did Kyrie do? Glad you asked. Because fresh off his rant of people not being available and people being in and out of the lineup, Kyrie Irving proceeded to not be available for the next game. The videos write themselves. I gotta tell you, he's making it a little bit too easy here. The videos write themselves. You go on a post-game CM Punk scrum, talking all this trash about Harden and individuals not being able to compete, you feel me? Not being available, not being committed, and then the next game, you're not playing. Ben Simmons, he had a calf strain. He had a calf strain. That man was on the bench with his bucket hat on, juking around with everyone else on the bench, hopping up on made three-pointers. He looked fine to me. Like if Mans was laid up with a boot back at the Kyrie Irving headquarters, looking like Mr. Krabs at the end of that one SpongeBob episode where he had the hotel and they were all laid up in the hospital bed at the end. If it was a situation like that, I'd cut Kai some slack. But he was on the bench. He was right there. No sling, no boot, no walker, no little scooty joint. He was fine. He just didn't feel like going out there. So this was Ben Simmons' opportunity to go out there and be the number one option. And he contributed 10 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. For the people who are going to sit there and say, oh, but he got a triple-double, I'm not even talking to you. You are beyond my help. There's nothing more I can do for you. There's nothing. Like seven-man can't, I can only do but so much for you. If you think that triple-double excuses him of slander, there ain't nothing seven-man can do for you. Just continue to ride with that man into the sun. Because I can't help you at this point. There are individuals out here saying, oh, but he had a triple-double. What more do you want from him? If this man, and I use this example a lot, but if this man was Elfrid Payton, I'd say, what more do you want from Buddy? But this is Ben Simmons. Do we need to rewind the tape to when they were saying he was the next Magic Johnson? He's going to be the next LeBron? This is Ben Simmons' household name. We're not talking about some little pass first point guard we got from the G League or something. This is Ben Simmons. We got him in a trade with James Harden. You don't just give anyone up for James Harden. It's got to be somewhat equal value. That is Ben Simmons on a max contract. And he ain't even doing his job. If you want to say Sever lay off of him, it's not fair. You're kicking him while he's down. He literally can't score. So how could you be getting on to Buddy for that? I hear you on that. Let's look at the things that he is advertised to do. Was it Kelton Johnson? Who was Buddy on the Spurs last night that had a career high? Where was Ben Simmons' defense then? I'll wait. I saw Claxton playing defense. I saw Royce O'Neal playing defense. That's about all Royce did, but I saw Royce O'Neal playing defense. Okay, so he don't play defense. What about the assist? And I'm going to gently brush over the assist because we've had this conversation before, so I'll gently brush over it. If Ben Simmons has 11 assists, and there are still multiple times throughout the course of the game where Ben Simmons is out there, but the team is not capable of scoring, he could have had 100 assists, but it wouldn't mean anything. That's an empty statistic. If Kyrie Irving drops 60 points, but we lose by 40, who cares about that 60? If the team is incapable of scoring, and Ben Simmons is out there, then what does the number of times that someone scored without dribbling after they got the ball from Ben really mean? If you don't have Kyrie Irving out there, if you don't have Kevin Durant out there, you have to create the gravity to get people open for shots. And that means having a pulse on offense. See, people try to separate the two categories, and I'm not here for it. Because Kevin Durant does it. Kevin Durant uses his gravity and the defensive coverage that comes towards him to make the right pass, to get the right looks, so other people can score around him. Why can't Ben Simmons do that? Is he not a star? Oh, that's right. Because he can't score. He's incapable of scoring. So if he's not capable of scoring, that means he's not able to get any defensive coverage to come towards him to get other people open. So if he drives and kicks it, he's passing it to someone that has a man on him already. Because no one's going to collapse on Ben Simmons because they know he can't score. He will brick a layup. That's a part of playmaking. So he's not playmaking. He's not playing defense, and he's incapable of scoring. And on a night where you are the only number one option, and he is giving you 10, 11, and 10. Y'all, it's time to get rid of Ben Simmons. And I know we just spent 2 years trying to get rid of Steve Nash. But cancer doesn't discriminate. When you have a cancer on your team and they are contributing nothing whatsoever, you gotta cut it out. You gotta cut it out and move on. Now, this is the part of the video that I wanted to get to last video, but I was distracted by Kyrie. I don't think we need a center. We're good with Claxton. He's playing amazing. We're fine. Day'Ron Sharpe got some minutes tonight. Markieff Morris, when he's not beating people up, he plays pretty decent defense down low. When Kevin Durant is healthy, he can be out there to assist whoever is, switching. Royce O'Neal plays good defense. That is all he does is play defense because God knows he can't hit a shot. And it's been playing like trash for like a month. But we've been so distracted with other things. And God, Joe Harris, we just don't have time. Okay, we just don't have time to go up and down the roster. But I see you, Joe. I see you doing nothing and getting a bag for it. We just don't have time. Royce, I see you throwing up those bricks. We just don't have time. But back to Ben. I think what we need to do is we need to trade Ben Simmons. And through whatever finagling we need to do, we need to get a point guard back. A point guard that is able to not only run the team, but get some offense as well. As much as y'all hate James Harden, up until he quit on us, he was handling that. Up until we traded him for Harden, there was multiple points where Karis LeVert was doing that. Running the offense, making sure Jared Allen gets his looks, making sure Joe Harris gets wide open looks back when he had a pulse. Kyrie was playing shooting guard. It was Karis that was running the team. And if Karis couldn't get his playmaking off, we had Spencer Dinwiddie. I think it's important that we solidify the point guard position. Because Kyrie's a shooting guard. And even if you want to put him at point, I don't think it's fair to ask something of him that he can't do. Same thing with Ben. I don't think it's fair to ask Ben Simmons to score if he cannot score. He physically can't do it, so we are just beating up and bullying him for no reason. If he can't do it, I'll leave you alone. You just can't do it. Some people can't cross bridges. He can't score the ball. Okay, you've shown that. I'll lay off. But we need to get someone who can. And in this golden era of guards in the NBA, I don't think that is that difficult to find. A point guard that can score and run the team. Not the best example because I don't even think he's in the league anymore, but like a Jeff Teague type. Like you don't have to, Schroeder would have been great, right? Like someone like that. Doesn't have to be some big household name. Just get someone that can score and can run the team. Preferably not small as well, but that's neither here nor there. I don't think that is that big of an ask. I don't mean to give them any credit at all, but like a Jalen Brunson type, right? Like someone where they're like behind a star point guard, but could really get it off if they had the chance. Someone like that. And then in the package, maybe you can get another center to help out. But when Ben Simmons is making max contract money, not doing a thing, that's when you have to look to move him while we can. Secret's out that Ben Simmons is trash, but maybe other GMs see potential in him still. Who it is that we get, that's a video for another day. But I really, really think we got to fix this point guard thing. Because when Ben Simmons goes to the bench and Kyrie Irving's not out there and Kevin Durant's not out there, your backup point guard is Patty Mills or Sumner or Seth Curry. At times, Royce O'Neal. That ain't going to get it done. And I know we signed someone on a two-way, but we know he ain't going to play. If Kessler Edwards can't get on the court, I don't think whoever it is we signed is going to get on the court either. I think it's genuinely time that we give up on Ben Simmons and trade him while we possibly can. Now, I'm not up on contracts. I don't know if we can trade him. But if we can, the time is now. Because that man ain't doing a thing. And once Ben Simmons is gone, we can move on to Joe Harris and go from there. But last night's game showed me that Ben Simmons cannot score. Won't and can't are two different things. Ben Simmons cannot score. Nothing more needs to be said. If we can't beat the Spurs, I don't know what you would expect from this team. We play the Suns next. I mean, they've been pretty bad as of recent, but if we can't beat OKC and the Spurs, I don't know what makes anyone think that we have a chance against the Suns. I want to leave this video with one specific thought. Kevin Durant said he wanted to request a trade from the team. Obviously because of the unprofessionalness of Steve Nash and the trashitude of that man. One of the main things he referenced was when he went down with an injury, the team couldn't win without him on the floor. You tell me what changed. What's changed since then? We just lost 3 games in a row. It might be time to open up a certain church yet again. It might be time to open up a certain church. Because that man's gone. I'm going to keep it a bean with you. He gonna come back. The one thing he asked us to do, we can't seem to handle. Oh, he's gone. Hey, let's just hope Katie's not really out for a month and he can come back and we can figure something out. But if Ben ain't gonna do nothing and Kyrie can't do nothing without Kevin, I don't know what you. Hey, hit the panic button on this one. We might be cooked, y'all. We might be cooked.